SME. And now let's start about the introduction. The small and business scale enterprises or SME fragment involves a significant position in the nation's economy and keeps on adding to mechanical advancement, sends out and forex gaining, production of business opening, and so on. This fragment has created in corresponding with innermost scope and organization. The persistent development and improvement of the organizations in this portion guarantees a decent development of the economy and goes about as a facilitator towards the enterprising turns of events, business partnership, and related riches creations, and so on. The small and medium-scale enterprises possess a significant and vital spot in financial development and fair advancement in all nations. Comprising as high as 90% of undertakings in many nations around the world, SME are the main thrust behind countless advancements and add to the development of the national economy through business creations, speculations, and fairs. Their commitment to destitution, decrease, and a more extensive dispersion of riches in creating economies can't be underestimated. The SME portion is relied upon to be a key segment for continuing the future development of different divisions as portrayed beneath. In any case, SME should adjust themselves remembering globalization's patterns also and subsequent effects. Flexible chains of aptitude are developing on a worldwide premise. And now let's talk about the role of branding in SME. Branding in SME has been a generally new subject of business research, despite the fact that there has been a great deal of commitment to this subject, both in reading material and scholarly exploration writing, most speculations and contextual analysis based on notable worldwide brands, example Coca-Cola and Nike. Examinations among SME has been so far restricted to huge enterprises. The purpose behind that has presumably been in the way that SME, in view of their money-related and human constraints of assets, generally don't run a formalized procedure that would manage to mark. They manage brands in their own particular manner. In this way, similar to a few different businesses works in SME. Likewise, the capacity of marking is structured and at the same time relies upon development, life cycle advancement, and authoritative culture, new companies which depend on amazing brands, or to put it in an unexpected way, when creation, advancement, and abuse of brand are really a business thought, are very uncommon. In this manner, the primary inspiration for the exploration of the specific article investigate vital direction and expertise to marking among SME. They have been named oblivious organization, clients, is providers, and separated, and now the characteristic of SME. Small companies have a common size, basic association structure, and have customized the executives where interchanges and strategies are for the most part casual or verbal. It could be a privately owned company or organization constrained by a bunch of individuals who could be business people in any event when they might not have the officially proficient abilities to run the associations. They, despite everything, deal with the whole business endeavors. They might not have the offices and assets to convey out quality assurance capacity, or they might not have the correct information and involvement with the said field and consequently are not completely mindful of advantages determined out of it. They are typically examinations situated. For example, they follow the recognitions from the made parts as opposed to the counteractions of assembling called merchandise. It could be a privately owned companies for organization constrained by a bunch of individuals who could be business people. And now, the SME or the small to medium-sized enterprises example. These are the example of SME. First is self-employed workers, contractors, online retailers, consultants, freelancers, sole traders, cleaners, hairdressers, caterers, photographers, shops, dog walkers and pet sitters, and tradespeople. The importance of brand for SME. There are numerous similarities in the manner huge and private companies may progress, as both required a settled brand name to make expanding steam and viably advertise their items or administrations. Building up a solid brand name is essential for any business to attain and develop. Brand building assumes a significant job in characterizing your association in the open act. It is an essential piece of an SME promoting blend and consumption. Truthful SME customarily show a solid enterprising soul and influence that soul through a characterized culture so as to offer inventive types of assistance and items. Brand plays a significant job for firms as they contend overwhelmingly with one another to pick up a piece of the feast. Brand plays a significant job for the firms. Practically, all items and administrations can be handily reproduced. Thus, we see the commoditations of items and administrations. And now the benefits of branding to SME. The first benefit is recognition. Recognition with the business is an absolute necessity for the buyers to feel calm while buying. The brands that are anything but difficult to perceive regularly draw in more clients. Utilizing logos to distinguish your image will assist purchasers with recognizing and associations, items, and administrations. A logo can comprise of a letter, a word, an image, or blend of both. Likewise, utilize on a logo will assist with distinguishing your image. The second one is competitive differentiation. This will assist you with creating your character and permit the buyers to identify with your items and administrations. Along these lines, tempting them to turn into your new clients. The third one is the staff motivation. Staff motivation is a reasonable marking procedures lets your staff comprehend the objectives and set and reinforces their faith in the associations. A solid marking procedure will guarantee the draw-out endurance of the firm, and that will improve the inspiration and professional stability of the representatives. Additionally, representatives can put their chest out and feel pleased to be an individual from their bosses' associations. And the last benefit is the referrals generation. In referrals generation, the best type of showcasing is an informal of shoppers. A solid brand feature will touch out the discussions among the network, which will help reduce referrals. The significance of the viral appropriation of a message through online life can't be disregarded, and solid marketing can help misuse that medium without limit. 6 reasons why a strong brand is important for your small business. First one is branding improves recognition. One of the significant parts of your image is your logo. As the face of an organization, logo configuration is basic, since that basic realistic will be on each bit of correspondence and promotion. An expert logo configuration is sufficiently basic to be an essential, however, amazing enough to give the ideal impression of your organization. The second one is branding creates trust. An expert appearance constructs believability and trust. Individuals are bound to buy from a business that seems clean and authentic. Passionate responses are designed into our minds, and those responses are genuine influences. The third reason why a strong brand is important is branding supports advertising. Publicizing is another part of your image. Both the medium is peak and segment focus for notices fabricates a brand. Too limited, a publicizing center and an organization dangers being categorized and losing its capacity to venture into new markets. The fourth one is branding builds financial value. Organizations who freely exchange on a stock trade are esteemed as commonly the genuine hard resources of the organizations. A lot of this work is because of the marking of the organization, which is branding. A solid brand ordinarily ensures a future business, regardless of whether an organization is in the situations to get assets for development or turning out into IPO, or being seen as progressively significant will make the procedures invaluable for the advances online organization. The fifth one is the branding inspires employees. Numerous representatives need something other than work, they need something to progress in the direction of. At the point when representatives comprehend your strategic purpose behind being, they are bound to feel that equivalent pride and work are similar way to accomplish the objectives you have set. And the last one is branding generates new customers. Marketing empowers your organizations, or branding empowers your organizations to get a referral business. A huge explanation of brand is the word utilized for this idea is that the objective is a permanent impression. As the most gainful publicizing source, informal referrals are just conceivable in circumstances where your organization has conveyed an essential involvement in your client. The most gainful organization, little and huge, share a solitary